This is Locked On Bets, the daily betting show that means business from the Locked On Podcast Network. Hosted by Lee Sterling and Kevin Rogers, they're dropping fearless picks with an inside edge to put money in your pocket. If there's action, they've got the lock. This is where smart bets start. It's Locked On Bets.
Welcome to the Wednesday edition of Locked On Bets. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with you. And as always, we appreciate you making Locked On Bets your first listen of the day here on the Locked On Podcast Network, the number one sports podcast network out there. And tomorrow it's Thanksgiving, so plenty of NFL, 3 games. We're going to focus on 2 of them, also with college football as well. Black Friday game between the Bears and the Eagles we're going to get to. NBA, big slate tonight. So a very busy show. But firstly, let's begin with a blowout special.
Oh, boy. Last one out, turn off the lights. This one's a blowout.
Thanksgiving, it's a tradition like no other, begins in Detroit with the Lions and the Packers on Thursday. But over the past few years, it's changed. It's not the dreaded old Lions that stink and we don't care about them. Now they're relevant. And big matchup with Green Bay, and the Lions, 2.5-point home favorite against the Packers, looking to avenge that ugly Week 1 loss at Lambeau Field. Lions had that rally against the Giants last week. We'll see what Green Bay does here on the road, Lee. So what do you like with the Lions and the Packers?
All right, I got to tell a quick story here first. Thanksgiving story. True story. I'm in college, and back in the day, early 80s, it's expensive to fly home. I'm playing. I wasn't playing. I transferred to University of Texas from Southwest Texas State and dating a girl from Wichita Falls, Texas. Never forget this. And she invited me home for Thanksgiving. So I'm like, why not? I said, you got TV so we can watch the game? She goes, absolutely. So I go there, nice family and everything, sleeping in a separate bedroom. And comes time for Thanksgiving, and all they had was 2 little black and white TVs. And I'm like, this is just not going to work. And nice people, but there is no way this relationship is going to last. She put up with it. She was fine. And she went to games, but all of Thanksgiving weekend, I'm not watching a little black and white TV. So that killed the romance right there. I thought of it because, we're talking about the Detroit game, and it was the Detroit game. So back to regularly scheduled programming. Detroit, what they did last week to allow the Giants to stay in the game was borderline criminal. Dan Campbell was awful. The first time that he called plays, I think it was 3 games ago, he was really good. They had no idea what to expect. The way to beat the Giants is run the football on first down, get 5, 7, 8 yards. You put them in second short, then you do play action, and you can beat their brains out. He threw the ball 42 times and only ran it 19 times. And when you have incompletions on first down, they put you in second long, third and long. That's where the Giants' defensive front pass rush thrives. And Dan Campbell played it totally wrong. Hopefully, he coaches better this week. And I think that they want to lay one on Green Bay. First game of the week, Green Bay punched them in the face and dominated. The game is indoors. And that's where Detroit is at their best. I think they're much better than Green Bay playing on turf indoors. They're just fast. You look at Gibbs, you look at Williams, St. Brown, he's not going to drop. He dropped a couple key balls last week. So I think Green Bay's fine. Green Bay's the same way. If you get them in third and long, they're gonna come after you and you're in trouble. But you get 5, 6, 7 yards, they'll be fine. So rarely do you see a team, an offensive coordinator, coach that poor 2 weeks in a row. I like Detroit here. I'm going to lay the 2.5. Going to be my blowout special for Thanksgiving.
want to mention this too, Lee. The comparison defensively with the Packers. Their last 3 home games, they allowed 6 to Minnesota, 10 to Philadelphia, 16 to Carolina. Their last 4 road games, they've allowed 20 to the Giants, 25 to Pittsburgh, 23 to Arizona, and 40 to the Cowboys. So the defense has dropped off on the road. Detroit did sweep Green Bay last year, including winning at Ford Field. So we'll see if the Lions can get some revenge for that Week 1 loss coming up on Thursday. The first kickoff is at 1 o'clock, no longer 12:30. We pushed it back a little bit. So a 1 o'clock kick there in Detroit. The second game, Dallas and Kansas City, and very important game for both of these teams. And now it's time for our wrong team favorite.
What the WTF?
Cowboys and the Chiefs, extremely important game for both these teams. The Chiefs had to rally past the Colts last week to save their season. They would have been 5-6. They would have lost that game. Cowboys, couple wins over the past week or so, beating the Raiders on the road, and then the incredible rally against the Eagles down 21-0, came back and won that game 24-21. So Dallas has played themselves back into the playoff picture in the NFC. The Chiefs are 3.5-point favorites against the Cowboys. Lee, what do you like here with this interconference matchup?
All right, so let's talk about both teams. Chiefs, they had to settle for a couple field goals early, and Indianapolis was outplaying them. So what did they do? Defense. Give their defense credit. I think it was the last 4 or 5 series, 3 and outs, every single series. They won the game for them. Kansas City, they got to the 1-yard line, and what did they do right before the end of regulation? Field goal would tie it, touchdown, pretty much win the game. Couldn't get it in. I think Andy Reid's play calling gone a little stale. I think teams have figured them out. They have so much tape on them. And, when you're in the heat of the game, calling plays, you go to a lot of things that you're familiar with. And I had kind of an idea on 2 of the 3 play calls, what they were going to do. So Patrick Mahomes, not quite as good as he's been before. Their running game, don't have much there. Hunt runs hard, but, they need all their guys, all hands on deck. And I think they should use all 3 backs that they have when they're all healthy, and they don't use them enough. On the other side, and it was a big win. Let's not discount it. It was a big win. They needed that win to stay in the playoff hunt. Dallas was down 21-0. They lose that game, they're as good as done. I mean, the playoff chances are almost nothing, probably below 5%. For them to come out down 21 and come back and win that game is incredible. I think they took the sails right out of Philadelphia. Philadelphia, I've said this, not going to be the same team. They made 2 really good trades, especially to get Quinnen Williams. I think he's one of the top 4 or 5 defensive tackles in the game. And you see it in their defensive performance. Second half, pretty much shut down Philadelphia. And they got weapons galore. I mean, everyone talks about CeeDee Lamb, but, let's look at George Pickens. I mean, this is a guy, he's a number 1. He's a talent, number 1. Now, he was a malcontent with the Steelers. I mean, big-time problem, but great trade that they made to get him. Ferguson, one of the better tight ends. They get Williams, a running back from Denver. Second year, 2 years removed from ACL surgery. I thought he was always going to be a really good back. I thought Denver got rid of him too early. So turns out some of the moves that Jerry Jones had made have actually been good moves. And I think this line should be like Kansas City 1.5, not 3.5. I think the line's going to go to 3, probably not 2.5, but I think it's going to stay around 3. They don't like to go off 3. So get 3.5 now. Take Dallas. I think that even though Kansas City has a good defense, I think they're red hot. They've got confidence now. Playing at home on the short week is tough. We've seen what's happened to a couple of these teams like Buffalo. Really tough on the short week. And then Kansas City's not the same team that they were in the past. Jones is incredible, their defensive tackle, but there's not many other players you're like, wow, this guy scares me anymore. And I think Dallas, everyone made fun of them after the trade, but now look who's laughing. So I like Dallas here plus the 3.5. Wrong team favored. Second game, on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and also the Chiefs, all those one-score games they won last year, they've been on the wrong side. Granted, the Colts game was that was their first win in a one-score game, but yeah, it just kind of came back to bite them this year. They couldn't get over the hump, and Dallas, again, you look at them. You talk about the one-score games. They blew the Carolina game. The Green Bay game was a tie. They came back from trailing early. Dallas has had a couple games, and I understand, they probably should have lost the Eagles game, but they've had a couple games that it could have gone their way. All of a sudden, maybe they're in I don't want to say the driver's seat of the NFC East, but they have a more realistic shot to win the division. Chances are the Eagles are going to win that division, but now you have a chance at the wild card or at a wild card in the NFC.
I agree. Yeah. I mean, one game, one half changed one team's whole fortunes and maybe also Philadelphia's.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the Eagles and the Bears coming up in just a little bit. They're playing on Black Friday in Philadelphia. So just quickly recapping our picks from Tuesday, went 1-2. Houston ended up losing to Tennessee in that Elite Eight rematch out in Vegas, and the Cougars just couldn't get it done. Good win for Rick Barnes and the Vols in that one, getting some revenge there.
Yeah, give them some credit. Changed some things. I like the way they set up their offense. Didn't turn the ball over as much as they did when they played last year. So just one of those games that probably on the wrong side.
And I guess we'll be quick on this one. The Hawks end up losing outright to the Wizards, and that was the bludgeoning out of the gate for Washington. Just one win in the season. CJ McCollum blew up, and the Wizards won that game convincingly. So we can kind of run a stop sign on that one. But the Stars, though, 4-0 lead after the first in Edmonton. So we hit that one. So that was good in that little revenge spot. Edmonton off that long road trip. Flat start for them against the Stars.
Hockey's just one of these games that they take it personal. So especially when you lose in the conference finals or for the Stanley Cup. So we had two situations like that take place this week, and you got to take advantage of those. They're not going to come around too often.
Now, quickly on this, the new college football playoff rankings were announced on Tuesday night. Miami moved up to 12. They passed Utah, and the Hurricanes play Pittsburgh coming up on Saturday. And nothing really changing in the top. Ohio State still number 1, Indiana at 2, Texas A&M 3, Georgia 4, Texas Tech at 5. But here's something I want to get your thoughts on, Lee. Ole Miss is at number 7. And a lot of conversation whether Lane Kiffin's going to stay or go. If he goes to potentially LSU, maybe Florida, can't expect anywhere else, or he stays at Ole Miss. They still have a game coming up the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State, and very important if they could win that, they'd be in a good shot or a good spot rather to be in the college football playoff. But what do you think the committee does there? Obviously they lose to Mississippi State, they're probably out, but if they win and then Lane Kiffin's like, see ya, I'm out, do you think the committee says, all right, well, then you're out too if Lane's gone?
If they lose, anything can happen. Yeah, I think there's a real chance it might happen. So if he leaves, man, I would never put a nickel on Ole Miss in the playoffs, even if they win. Like I said, I mean, without their head coach, I mean, he's their heart and soul. And just crazy. To me, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, LSU is a fabulous shop, but are they really that much better than Ole Miss now? I don't think they're any better. I mean, he's built up that program. If they go to the college football playoff every 4 or 5 years, I mean, he's good as gold. I mean, he's the guy. So I really think that he found inner peace. At least he said so. Maybe he's one of these guys that just has to move every 4 or 5 years. That's probably what it is. When you hear the statement, I would say it's 90% he's leaving. Seems like it's probably LSU. You agree?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why would you come out and say that and then say, oh, by the way, I'm staying? Like, why would you build all this up to be like, oh, I'm staying here? Like, no, you wouldn't do that. But also at the same time, everyone on the inside at Ole Miss has got to think this guy's out. Like, why would you have this announcement after this game, our most important game of the season, against our bitter rival, and you're just going to say I'm going to stay? You'd say it now. I appreciate LSU and Florida, talking to them, whatever it is, but I'm going to stay here. I'm comfortable at Ole Miss. We like it here. We're building something. But to have all of this, and then you end up putting out an announcement that you're going to leave, or not, you're going to leave, you're going to make your announcement, what you're going to do. I don't know.
I don't remember what the game was. I'll never forget this. I had a bowl game. A coach announced he was leaving. This is probably going back 8-10 years. In the locker room before the game, he tells his team he changed his mind, and I had gone against them. It was supposed to be his last game. Changed his mind, he's staying, and they blew out their opponent. I mean, turned out I got killed. So, maybe he's setting it up. You never know with Lane Kiffin. He's the master of motivation. It would be great. I mean, if he tells them before the game, you agree? I'm staying?
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah, if he does that, they're probably winning the national championship. I mean, they're going to be running through walls for this guy.
Yeah. So maybe that's his plan, and he wants to bury Mississippi State. If he is, it's incredible, a great plan. But I do think he's leaving. He had said that he was battling alcoholism. He beat alcoholism, I don't know, last year and a half. His wife comes back to him, seems happy. His daughter's living with him. I mean, what is he? He's got to be making. I think he's making like $9.5, $10 million. I think the contract that they're saying if he does go to Tennessee is for 14. You know that Ole Miss is going to give him at least 12 or 13. What's the difference in $1 million when you're making that kind of money? So I just think I truly, now that I've thought it out, I think he's one of these guys. He just can't stay put for more than a couple years, more than 5 years. Just one of these guys that needs change all the time.
All right, we'll see what happens. And obviously next week or over the weekend, we'll know what his decision will be. Coming up, we are going to take a look at the NBA. Busy schedule tonight. Also, college football, another rivalry game we will look at in the NFL. Black Friday, we're going to skip ahead to the Bears and the Eagles. Afternoon game in Philadelphia, and should be a good one considering both teams leading their divisions. And we'll see if the Eagles can bounce back from their loss to the Cowboys. You are listening to what is today? Today's Wednesday. The Wednesday edition, Hump Day edition of Locked On Bets. All right, time now to talk about FanDuel, and we are rolling through. And tomorrow it's Thanksgiving, but at the same time, there's a lot of football on. 3 very important games. FanDuel is an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right, pick a bet. Put down $5, and if it hits, you'll unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. What can you bet on? Let's see. Packers-Lions out of the gate on Thursday. Detroit, a short favorite there at FanDuel. If you want to bet on the Lions, you want to money line the Packers maybe. Let's pull off the sweep of Detroit. Also, you have the player props. Jordan Love on the Packers side, his passing yards. Jared Goff, his passing yards for the Lions. Jahmyr Gibbs maybe taking his rushing yards for Detroit. Then you have Chiefs Cowboys in the middle coming up Thursday in Dallas with Kansas City favored Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott. You can look at their passing yards props. George Pickens had a big year for the Cowboys, maybe his receiving props. Also, Ravens Bengals on Thursday night. Lamar, Burrow, assuming Burrow's coming back, he should be back. You have that Black Friday, Bears and Eagles. So many games before we even hit the weekend. And then Sunday and Monday, also MVP you could bet on. Matthew Stafford, the odds-on favor of the Rams to win most valuable player at FanDuel. Super Bowl champs, NFC champs, AFC champs, all of that, plus the college football, NBA, college basketball, NHL, all of those things you could bet on. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. We continue Locked On Bets here on a Wednesday. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports with you. So the NBA, just 3 games last night, but full slate tonight, considering there's no games on Thursday. Nothing in the NBA, nothing in the NHL. So it is time now for our Hidden Gem.
To find a diamond in the rough, you need to dig a little deeper for those hidden gems.
It's going to be an easy one, Lee. First quarter play. Knicks and the Hornets. They meet in Charlotte. I'm going to take the Charlotte Hornets. About 1.5
hidden gem here
on this one. Yeah. This is going to be hold on. Got the mining helmet on, so we're good to go. But I got some numbers here you're going to like, Lee. Number one, the New York Knicks have trailed after the first quarter in 6 straight games, including against Brooklyn the other night. They came back and won. The Knicks are 0-6 against the spread, last 6 in the first quarter on the road. Charlotte 5-2 against the spread at home in the first quarter. I think the Hornets get off to a good start here. Knicks may win the game. but New York has just proven they're poor starters. Simple as that. So we're going to go with the Charlotte Hornets first quarter hidden gem as our. Hold on a second. Let me rewind. Charlotte Hornets first quarter is our hidden gem.
All right. Okay. I always love rooting against the Knicks, so I'm on board with that, though, being a Miami Heat fan. So
I'm just giving you another reason. I'm giving you another reason. So it's simple as that. So we'll see how that one turns out on Wednesday.
That's good enough.
All right. Now let's move to college football and Kentucky, Louisville, the battle of the Bluegrass State. Time now for some bet a little, win a lot.
They say you'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So bet a little, win a lot.
Right, it's a good basketball game, but football, they still play this game every year, Louisville and Kentucky. And the Cardinals, they are a short favorite here against the Wildcats. And Louisville, they beat Miami a few weeks ago, but they've kind of stumbled a bit, back-to-back losses. Kentucky's played well down the stretch. Big win over Tennessee Tech and stalwart of the SEC, Florida, the last few weeks. But, Lee, what do you like here, Kentucky and Louisville?
Yeah, last week, not so great for Kentucky. Vanderbilt played great. Give him credit. Young quarterback, a bully, just had a bad game. Threw 3 interceptions. They were out of the game. I do think they're going to come back. And they're going to be playing a Louisville team, I think, that is playing dead. Miller Moss, listed as questionable. Even if he plays, I'm not worried at all. Why? Top 2 receivers. Chris Bell, who is really good. Big, strong, fast, out. Colin Lacey, he's out also. So top 2 receivers are out, and the top 2 running backs, the Brown brothers. No, they're not related, but they are the 1-2 punch here. They are both not going to play in this game. I mean, the 2 guys that they have, Deuce Adams and Brody Allen, not the answer at all, in my opinion. So Kentucky, 5-6. They need a win here to be bowl eligible, and I think to save Mark Stoops' job. So I expect them to be motivated here. Louisville has quit here. They didn't even compete last week. I mean, the score was something like 34-7. They should have lost 55-7. It was that bad here. So I don't think you need the 3 points here. I'm taking Kentucky on the money line plus 130. Bet a little, win a whole lot.
Yeah, and we'll see how Louisville responds after a couple losses. And again, like that big win over Miami. It feels like with Jeff Brom that they win these games over, or in his career, over top 5 opponents. Then when they play teams that are not top 5 opponents, they struggle. So if Kentucky was a top 5, yeah.
Lost to Cal. Cal fired their coach. Cal's terrible. I mean, isn't it crazy now also to think, look at how many coaches their teams went in the tank. Did they extend Brom? No.
I believe so. I'd have to check. I can't.
They might have extended him. I'm not sure. But they're going to do everything to keep him crazy. The Nebraska coach. Well, I mean,
Matt Rule. Yeah.
But what are they doing extending him? I mean, I know they said they didn't want him to go in Penn State, but what has he done there? Nothing.
Yeah.
They're not even competitive. I mean, I think they're 7-4. They're the worst 7-4 team in Power 4 conferences, I think, out there. So how about Maryland? Maryland lost 6 straight games. Mike Loxley, 6 or 7. And they extended the guy. It wasn't like he was recruiting either. I think they had the 74th. I'm like, am I missing something? This is the Mike Loxley who was a washout at New Mexico, and they end up hiring him. They win every year. They're like 4-0, 5-0, playing nobody. And they get in a conference play. They lose almost every single game. He, right now, I checked, he has the 74th best recruiting class. I think recruiting classes from Fresno State, forget the third team, but also Colorado State, who fired their coach after like week 2 or 3. He's behind them. So why are you keeping this guy? I don't get it.
Yeah, makes no sense. Coming up, we are going to break down the Black Friday game between the Bears and the Eagles. That's a big one inside the NFC. That's straight ahead right here on Locked On Bets. Locked On Bets continues here on a Wednesday. Kevin Rogers and Lee Sterling of Paramount Sports. Bears, Eagles. Time now for the lock of the day for Friday.
Open it, open it, open it. Lee has the key to the lock of the day.
Eagles, after their meltdown against the Cowboys last week, they are back at home, 7-point favorites against the Bears, and Chicago sitting atop the NFC North. They keep winning. They beat Pittsburgh last Sunday at Soldier Field, and we'll see if the Bears can keep it up here. Lee, what do you like with the Bears and the Eagles?
So remember a conversation I had after maybe week 2 or week 3 this season. I was talking to Hugh Millen. Remember him, former NFL quarterback?
Yeah, the Patriots quarterback, yeah.
Yeah, Patriots. Also, I think he might have gotten a ring with the Cowboys and then also played in Denver. He might have been the first $1 million quarterback, something like that. Crazy. So we were talking, and I said, you know what? I think that they've got a situation. There's something wrong with the dynamics in Philadelphia. And I think Hurts, I think he's overrated. And he said to me, I'm not going to quote him, but I'm going to paraphrase him. He goes, he stinks. He's a really bad quarterback. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, watch him. Watch his mechanics. Watch where he throws the ball. He goes, if he was on a bad team, he would be like almost like a Justin Fields. They would be talking about getting rid of him. And watching these games now and their offense, and they got some problems. He got beaten out at Alabama. He was okay, pretty good at Oklahoma. Ended up getting picked, I think, second, third round. Just has so much talent around. Now, all of a sudden, a couple injuries, the offensive line. Quan Barkley's not playing as well. They've got some problems. So I think the loss to Dallas, I'm not going to say they're completely done, but I would be shocked, very, very shocked if they make the Super Bowl. They could be first-round playoff fodder. Chicago, why are they so improved? And I still don't think they're great. They're winning a lot of close games. Look at their offensive line. And the biggest strength of the Eagles right now is their 2 defensive tackles. They push the pocket. They stop the run and push the pocket. Chicago might be the best equipped team to play them. Why? Drew Dolman, the center, who they got 3 guys at center in both guard positions, free agency and in trades. Drew Dolman, number 3 center, Pro Football Focus. Those are his numbers. Great. There are 2 guards, Joe Tunney and also Jonah Jackson, 10 and 12. So probably about 80 qualified, 75, 80 offensive guards, 10 and 12. So I think they're equipped to take them on. Also, the cornerbacks much improved. Now, Nashawn Wright and also Tariq Stevenson, 26 and 29. Big, strong guys. They do get some penalties occasionally, defensive holding, interference, but I think they're the type that are going to give Philadelphia receivers fits here, and they're much improved. So I'm going with Chicago. 7 points to me is too much here. Level 2 lock for Friday. Black Friday.
All right. Looking forward to Black Friday, and should be a good game, 3 o'clock from Lincoln Financial Field. And Lee, November coming towards an end or coming to a conclusion. But what do you like? What's going on with Paramount Sports, and what do you have for everyone?
Yep, it is. It's Turkey Day, so coming up. So, well, obviously we're taking off tomorrow. One of the rare days we take off, but doesn't stop here at Paramount Sports. And this is the promotion I get so many emails, texts, calls about. It is my world famous Turkey Shootout. 15 games from Thanksgiving Day all the way through Sunday. So you want to have fun and bet these games. We had a 14-1 one time on this. We've had a couple 13-2s, 12-3s, and a slew of 11-4 records. I think we were 11-4 last year on the Turkey Shootout. So you want to get 15 games combined college and pro Thursday through Sunday, not $297 or $197, just $97. ParamountSports.com. Also, you want to get player props, college football and the NFL through the Super Bowl. We lowered it just $297. You got whatever's left of November, December, January, and February Super Bowl. So you got 3.5 months there, $297. Take advantage of it. Just one place, ParamountSports.com.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Locked On Bets, as well as the podcast version on Spotify or Apple. Have a happy Thanksgiving. For Lee Sterling, I am Kevin Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you again on Friday right here on Locked On Bets.